All right, hi. Next one. Kevin, good morning, Kevin, asks, hello, Dr. Ben. I'd like to hear your thoughts about COVID 19 on a 5 to 10-year horizon, time horizon. Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting. Specifically, for people who had it and recovered, or even those who are asymptomatic, could it lie dormant in the body after you've recovered only to flare up in the future for various reasons? Yeah, or any other long term thoughts that you have? Or, better question, are there any updates on this article since it was published and discusses the possibility of reactivation? And so it's linked to an article, and I clicked on that, and it's can you develop COVID 19 twice? And it's just saying that it's basically too early to be able to tell with any kind of certainty whether that's even possible. At some point, we'll be able to say, yeah, for sure, because this is widespread enough and there are people that make weak enough immune responses to it by the look of it that the trick right now is just trying to sort out the first infection from a lingering first infection that flares back up, as opposed to infection, it's gone, and then, oh no, we're infected again. Yeah, very difficult to do. So, let's look at it this way. How would you go about figuring this out? So I would say what you would have to do would be sequence the entire virus, like read out all the genes in base order, start to end, and you would have to show that the virus is meaningfully different at enough places. So we know this virus, let's see, so it changes about 30 mutations a year, and so 15 every 6 months. So yeah, let's say if you were 6 months apart, you would want to see about 15 mutations, and not just any mutations. You would want to see that the virus has picked up mutations that are circulating in the public later, because there's a lot of chance involved in that. Not all of those are direct things that are going to help the virus. A lot of them are just basically mistakes that don't matter that much to the virus. And so the virus is still able to grow even with this kind of throwaway error. That's actually most of the changes you would see. Yeah, and if the virus was just inside of a person, it should still be evolving, and but it shouldn't necessarily be evolving the same way as virus on the outside, because the virus on the outside is going through different people, going through a different process. Virus on the inside is staying inside somewhere, and so it's got to basically lay low and yeah, slow and low, just yeah, keep things down. Otherwise, if it provokes a very strong immune response, the person would either die or they would clear out the virus, and yeah, we wouldn't be talking. So yeah, thoughts in the longer term. I think immunity is probably not going to be durable. That's still the consensus. Some people may have immunity for a couple of years, but that's probably going to be the maximum. And for, I don't know if it's like a third to half of people that get this that have fairly mild symptoms, they're probably not going to have a whole lot of immunity. I would have thought they could be infected within a year, 2 years at the most. Yeah. Based on the little bits of information that we have in terms of the number of different immune cell components that are activated. That's a very vague way to say it, but like neutralizing antibodies, T cell response, and the decay rate of neutralizing antibodies. That's all stuff that we have a little bit of data on. We don't know how long exactly these specific T cell responses last. We do have some idea for other viruses, but there's quite a range, and yeah, it's too early to know yet where exactly this virus falls. So I guess that's the answer to the whole entire thing. Really too early to predict. I certainly wouldn't have predicted that Ebola could come back and live, for example, in semen for something like 6 months, something ridiculous like that, just hanging out. Yeah, probably replicating at a low level in some cells down in that area. Yeah, crazy, but still potentially infectious. And we're going to learn more about this virus's ability to hang out or not hang out so much. Some coronaviruses do persist in animal models, but only when they get to certain tissues, like, for example, neurons. And we know this virus can get to some of these neural tissues that are located up in the nose, kind of on the way up to the brain. So, will it persist there? I don't know. We've only just discovered that it can even infect there, and those studies are going to take a while. And yeah, come back in a year and we may be able to say something, but the studies may still be ongoing. That's the kind of time scale that we're all dealing with here. So it's a good question. I wish I could give you more of an answer than that. But that article is still, yeah, pretty much the state of what we know. And it's just a picture of, for now, we're going to have caution with the way that we look at this. And yeah, if there's good evidence in the future that suggests that we need to change that, then I think that is a good idea. But for right now, we know that the virus lasts considerably longer in people than the symptoms tend to last. And that alone suggests that there are things about this that we don't fully understand. Like it's hanging out, we know now in the gut, among other places, but who knows? We'll eventually figure out exactly where in the human body this goes and how long it stays and what happens to it. And with everything, as with everything, there will be a nice little bell curve. And somewhere out here on the thin end of the curve, there's going to be somebody that has this virus and holds onto it way longer than other people. There may be reasons for that. There may be some immunological condition that they have, or just something very specific about the combination of genes that they inherited. But yeah. Outliers are interesting, and they all tell us something. And thing is, they're rare, and it takes a while to find them and figure out exactly what's going on. So here's hoping that happens soon. Thanks very much. This is Ask Dr. Ben.